Maybe that means moving the timeline. Maybe it means changing exactly what we wanted. And all of that is okay. But this is just going to help you get more clear and keep you on pace quicker. And that's really what we want to do. We want to continue moving forward instead of giving up time and time again, because that just makes us feel worse. When we feel like we give up, it just makes us feel like I did it again. I gave up again. I didn't meet my goals. We don't want that. We want change. And here's the deal with change that's interesting is so when we look at making change, there's something in our head that we strive for an exact science, right? We want to see this because this equals that I made change. And that it's really not the end result. That's the biggest part of change. The biggest part of change is all in here. And it's how you are setting your boundaries for yourself, your personal boundaries, and how you're viewing those boundaries and how you're viewing change all along the way. And so how are you treating yourself? What does it mean? What does it mean when I say, what are the benchmarks? What's it's all in here? I'm going to give you an example because it's not about perfection. So let's say you're trying to be healthier this year, right? There is a large behavioral component. The same with money, anything. There's a large behavioral component that goes along with this very finite, exact change. And what we like to do is we like to focus on that end change. But what we really need to do is focus on the behaviors that we're changing first so that we can create long lasting success. So for example, I started the year and I wanted to just cut out sugar and anything really to do with sugar. So no sugar, no alcohol, no simple carbs that will turn into sugar really quick in the body. And it was really only because I went a little crazy this holiday season and I felt really just like gross. I'm like, God, I just ate way too much sugar. I just didn't feel like stopping myself, so I just didn't. And that's okay. That was the season. I just went with it. And then I just wanted to not, right? So I actually made it. I got through January and literally February 1st, there was an opportunity to have a glass of champagne. And I was going to wait till the next weekend and whatever. Now I could view that as like, okay, here you go. You're going to go right back into it, right? And I have to tell you, I didn't eat well that day. I went to a movie, had popcorn. It was fun, right? So I could have shamed myself and said, you did this whole month and then bam, just like that, you're just back to the way you were. That's not helpful. And actually, that's not the truth. And so I could go back into my old habits of shaming myself, or I could go back into my habits of, well, one day is like blown, so might as well blow the whole week, right? That's a habit a lot of us do. Like, oh, well, I started out the day with a donut. Screw today. I'm just going to go crazy. Instead of continuing in that pattern, we can give ourselves a little grace and say, oh, how wonderful. You allowed yourself to step out of the boundary and have a little fun. And now let's just step right back into that boundary. But we don't do that a lot. Why? Because we're not taught that. Nobody teaches us that that's okay. And that's actually empowering because once you step back into that boundary, it's like, oh, I have the power to do that. I'm strong enough. I didn't even give myself kudos, by the way, right? If you think of that line of thinking, I didn't even give myself kudos for like, wow, you made it a whole month. Fantastic. That's wonderful. Good for you. You did something new. You've never done that before. I never wanted to do that before, but I did it. So we have to start with our congratulations. We have to give ourselves permission that when we step out of the boundary of what we set for ourselves, like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And oops, I kind of veered off path. That's okay.